Okay folks, Delta Mike down and out in Torrevieja, and a slightly different video today. It's a cookery video again, just like my first video, similar. It's Tina to begin with, and I'm keeping her away from the main ingredient of today, which is bacon, which I've sliced chunkily. I got a bunch of onions, some carrots, a vegetable that I don't know the bloody name of. If you ever get one of these kind of stock pots or stew pots, it's this big white thing in the corner. It's like a kind of a big radish but white. I don't know the name. Doesn't really matter. It goes okay in these kinds of things. I'm gonna do a tomatoey sauce. Tomato, bit of red wine, and vegetable stock cubes. I don't know what other stock to use with bacon. I might have gone chicken stock, might have worked, but veg is probably safer. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to throw pasta in at the end. I've got two types there. Not that they make any difference what type you use, they're all the same really, aren't they? But first, if you've seen a few of my videos, first, coffee. Okay, I'm just going to do that, and then I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So, just to clarify, it's 1 coffee, 2 hot chocolates, and a flask of coffee for either in the night or cold tomorrow morning. Okay, if you can hear the sizzling on the video, I hope so. Okay. So what you'll know is that I've got something frying already. After I took the water off, I'd put the pan on to heat up. And following Chef Jean Pierre's rules, it's not advice, it's a rule. Always start with the onion, with one exception, if you have bacon. And today we have bacon. So we start with the bacon. Get that sizzling, and once that's done a little bit, then we can put the onion in. Turn it down a little bit so I don't just boil all the oil away. I could do with a set of tongs really, which I do actually have somewhere, but not immediately to hand. So we'll just move that oil around. I might have turned that down a little bit too much perhaps. Okay, I'll bring that back up to a sizzle. And I'll go and get the oil, as Chef Jean Pierre calls it, oil. Let's have a look. Don't think I've got that heat going back yet, have we? That's because the fire's gone out. I must have turned it down too much. Okay, that wouldn't impress Chef, would it? We're back, and the bacon is back up to sizzle. So hopefully we've got some of that lovely flavour into the oil. And now we'll add the oil. And unlike the other day, the stew that I made when the storm was coming, I'm not accidentally adding the garlic and the carrots too early in the process. I'm going to get those onions into the oil. It's sizzling. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know if we'll manage to get any caramelization going. There's a lot in the pan already. But in they go. And I'll claim my first coffee. There's Tina. Say hello, Tina. You become an internet sensation with those videos. Hmm? Yeah. You're gonna be a star. Yeah. Okay, big slurp. I forgot. I put a spoon of hot chocolate into the coffee as well. Lovely. Sorry. I wasn't looking at the camera. I don't know what you were looking at there while I was stirring the onions. I'm just thinking about next steps. It has to be the garlic, doesn't it? In another couple of minutes. So those onions are softening nicely. Just give them a quick stir before. Yeah. Like I said, maybe there's a little bit of caramelisation. Some of the ones that stuck to the bottom, caramelised, not burnt. Okay, let me try and add the garlic. 2 seconds. Oh, I hit the off button there, but I think we survived. Okay, that's the garlic in. Just going to pop the lid on for a minute while I go and pour the red wine. There's a shot of Tina just as it's getting dark. Looks a little bit darker on the screen than it does here in real life. Okay folks, one good sized glug of red wine. Oh, you can smell the garlic. Oh yeah. In with the red wine. And I'm just gonna let that do its thing for a couple of minutes. And then a little bit of stock cubes and water. And the tomato, which I haven't brought over yet. So let me just go and let me get that now. I don't think it's got an easy open option, so I'll have to come back to you in a second when I've wrestled with it a little bit. And we're back. I've just poured the tomato, and it was a bit of a wrestling match, and I didn't have, as usual, I didn't have enough hands. So I'll just stir that in now. So that's the red wine and the tomato. Now for the stock cubes. Well, hope I didn't lose too much just now. That's one. Right. I don't think you can see that, can you? Looks really dark on screen. I'll turn the light on momentarily. Can I do that while it's running? I'm still new to this particular phone. No, that's it. Doesn't look like I can turn. Okay, that's a little bit better. Maybe we're bubbling a little bit too vigorously, but that'll be fine because we're about to add a bunch of water. If I can keep the camera pointed in the right direction. The stock cubes are in, the tomatoes in. There's some water. I'll leave the heat turned up because obviously we want to bring that back up to temperature. There's that the white vegetable whose name I do not know, and some carrots. Now my intention here is to use the gas stove to get this up to temperature and then switch to a different fuel to maintain the heat, a different type of fire to maintain the heat. But for now, and that's going to take 5 or 10 minutes to come up to the boil. So, egregious shot of Tina. Oh, flash of your eyes. Hey babe. And we're out. Okay folks, it's been about 5 minutes. I think 3 little developments while you were away. Nothing major. The carton that the tomatoes came out of, I give that a little, I put some water in there, I give it a little rinse, and added that into the residue tomato into the mix. I grabbed my second brew, which in this case is a drinking chocolate, and I poured myself a red wine because why the hell not? Now these red wines in the cardboard box in Spain, fantastic. A litre of wine, 14% by volume, €1.15. And until a few months ago, they were just 85 cents. They went up overnight to 1.25, and now they've dropped back down slightly. But that's fantastic value in anybody's book. Get a quick cut. So we're just waiting on this coming up to temperature. Obviously it's getting a little bit warm. Oh, yeah, it's getting that. But we need to get it boiling and then have it simmer for, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 minutes for the carrots and the that other veg. And then we'll have to add the pasta and maybe a little bit more water to go with the pasta. I don't know. We'll see how it looks when we get there. Check back soon. Okay, folks. Who didn't remind me? Whose job? I'll blame Tina. It's Tina's job to remind me. Bloody lentils. Lentils. Ah, how are we going to do this? Just handfuls? Okay. 1. What do you think? 3? That's going to slow things down a bit, isn't it? I'll put a 4th in. That's going to set us back a bit, time-wise. Definitely not leaving it on the gas. Can't afford that shit. Definitely can't afford that shit. Gas is not cheap. Okay. My fault, I won't blame Tina. It's my fault. Silly daddy. Okay. That'll set us back a bit. Gonna have to give that an extra, well, having the lid off and then putting those in, that's going to cool it down. It's probably going to take an extra 10 minutes before we're ready to switch to the other fire. Oh well, can't be helped. Okay, I don't know if you can see the steam coming from out of the side. There we go, yeah, you can see that. I can see that. So, right now, just starting a minor boil, or a simmer, I guess. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, make sure it stays at temperature, and then I'm going to move this. I'm going to move the pan and the gas stove out of the way and set up some other heating method here, so that we can, I guess, just maintain the heat for up to an hour on a different kind of fire, different kind of stove. So that's the plan. I'll be back in about 5, maybe 10. And we're back. And that Tina just runs away. Can you see her? Not really in that light. She's right in the centre of the screen there somewhere. Anyway, here we go. So, we're boiling away quite vigorously. I'm going to give it a quick stir. Try and keep my fingers out of the way of the lens and keep pointing roughly in the direction of the pan. Those lentils are starting to soften a little bit. They're not really swelling as yet. Okay. As I said, I'm going to turn the... I'll have to turn the heat off to move it. I don't know if I'm going to put the... I don't know if I'm going to turn the stove back on while I wait for the other fire to kick in, or whether I'll probably just trust that the heat in the pan is enough to keep us going, as long as I can get the fire going quick enough. Back soon. Well, that was more straightforward than I expected. We're up and we're running. And for free. Gotta watch it, obviously. But it's looking okay. It's a very small stove, so I have to feed it frequently. But it's quite a good stove, even if I do say so myself. Kind of a rocket stove or hobo stove, kind of halfway between the two. It's basically just a big tin can with wood, and raised off the ground so that airflow underneath from the little mesh. It's burning a little bit vigorously to begin with, but it'll settle down very shortly. And we just wanted to maintain the heat for the next half hour to an hour. Well, maybe for the next half an hour to get the veg and everything cooked, and then another 15 or 20 minutes to do some pasta. So it's looking good. It's maybe burning more vigorously than I would have thought, but hey, it's not bad considering we just had a week of rain. I managed to keep the wood dry. Okay folks, I'll be back soon. Okay folks, like I said, it's a small stove, so we have to change out the or feed in some new fuel fairly frequently, probably every 5, maybe 10 minutes. I'll just put a new batch on. It'll take a minute to catch properly. Hopefully, that's assuming it does catch properly. Sometimes you get a bad piece of wood and it sits and just smokes, and the smoke gets in the way of the combustion. It stops oxygen getting, but that looks to be taking, so we'll put the pan, sorry, you're upside down and back to front and all over the place there, but we'll put the pan back over the heat, put the wind guard back in place, and take a step back and just check. Yeah, we're looking good. We're golden, it's gone quite well. Okay guys, I'll be back soon, I guess. Well, it'll be soon for you, a little bit longer for me. Damn, I've just done a whole bit to camera and it wasn't recording. I don't know what we got and what we didn't. I just changed the I took the pan off the fire and changed the wood, and I showed you the fire, and I don't know whether we got any of that. I don't know when it stopped recording. What I was just saying though was I'm going to do salt and pepper in a second. You can see it's bubbling still. It's just coming back to bubble. It cooled slightly while we while we put new wood, while we fed the fire. Salt and pepper in a second, and I'm going to put the pasta in because we've got enough liquid there. We might not need to add any more liquid. I'm going to do that now. I can't work a pepper mill and hold a camera, so let me do what I need to do, and I'll come back to you as soon as. All right. That was a little strange. The pasta's in. I've given it a quick stir. Salt. My salt's very wet. I put loads in, probably more than I should. Pepper. That's weird. There are pepper corns in the mill, but when I turn it, it isn't grinding. I don't know if it's a moisture problem or what. I don't know. But when I turn it, it just doesn't. It doesn't grind. It just. I'm turning it now. It just turns smooth. Well, not smoothly, but well, yeah, smoothly, but not easily. It's not making the clicky, grindy kind of noises that you would expect. So I don't know. A bit weird. Probably a moisture thing. Maybe it'll recover in the next day or two when it dries out properly. Or maybe it won't. I don't know. But anyway, the pasta's in. There's liquid there. I might have put a lot of I might put too much pasta in. Is there such thing as too much pasta? I don't know. The Italians have a much different ratio of pasta to sauce. Us Brits in particular, we like a lot of sauce and not as much pasta. But hey, it's filling food, so I'm not bothered either way. In my position, a tramp cooking out in a field, I take what I've got, I take what I can get. It looks like the fire's dying down again. I might have taken so long there doing that I might have to put some more wood in. Let me get some out ready in case. And you get a couple of handfuls ready. This was all processed by yours truly a couple of days ago, just before it rained, wasn't it? If you saw the videos, I sawed some wood up and then batoned it with the knife and rebar. Not on video, but I got ready for cooking, and then the heavens opened. But I'm going to have to. Let me have a look here, see whether we can give it. How hot's that handle? I think we're okay. Yeah, the fire has died down. Take the metalwork back out of the way. Shovel in a couple of chunks. Sorry, I don't know if I'm managing to keep the camera pointed in the right direction there. Possibly not. Okay, those are in. Right those back over. It looks like it's going to take fairly quickly. Pan back on. Not quite square. We're stable now. We're stable. That's all we need for now. Make sure I don't stand on anything I shouldn't stand on. Wrap the pasta. Not exciting camera work. Yeah. It is what it is, guys. You can always complain and ask for your money back if you're not satisfied. You're watching a tramp cooking in the woods, or in a, well, it's not the woods, but petrol station, shop, field, floodplain, and a dog. Where are you, babe? Not really visible. Hey, Tina. There's the eyes. I saw you. Alright, this one's a little bit more smoky. But it's doing the job. It's going to cook it, and it's not costing me any gas. So I'm happy with that. I'll be back shortly. Okay. Who remembers me saying that sometimes you get one where it's more smoke than fire? Looks like that's what we've got here. So I'm going to dive in and take a look. There's two possible outcomes here. One is that as I lift the pan up, it creates the air gap needed, and oxygen gets in, and it flares up. Or the other one is it carries on smoking, and I have to use my Oh, can you see that? My trusty little blowpipe. So I'll just put that there for a second and we'll lift the pan off. Okay, lift the pan, you get flames. Let it burn for a second, proper combustion going, and then we can put the pan on and it should be good now. Yeah, still a little smoky, but there are good flames there now. I think that'll settle down. Yeah, there we go. Look. It's just lifting the pan, cleared out there's some smoke and let oxygen get in, and proper combustion could then begin. But there's obviously some wood in there that I don't know, there's some wood in there that's just bad wood, or maybe slightly damp, moist, maybe too new, maybe it's too green, maybe it hasn't aged out yet. That's the kind of shit we're dealing with. Now if I had a whole, if the whole fire was full of that, you could just be sat here for half an hour with nothing happening. But we look like it's going to recover, so that's good. Okay, guess who, no, let me put that again. Guess what I just did? So this is about ready. I'm going to look now and quick stir to check the pasta, but I think that's, if it's not done now it will be. I'm going to take that off the heat to rest for 5 or 10 minutes before I eat some. That looks good. That pasta looks good from here. Might still be a little al dente just now, but in 10 minutes it'll be. I'm going to take that off the heat. I just filled the pan with water, ready to make another round of coffee. And then I was messing about here, and then I just stood right in the bloody pan, and I got a bit of a wet foot and spilt all the water. So that was fun. It's about 11 at night, and I've got a wet right foot. Excellent. And I've now got no water right here to hand. I'll have to just go find some in the tent. We'll get some more water. So that's fun. Hey ho. Back shortly. Okay, water in the pan. Pan ready to come off the heat. I should have a cloth around here somewhere in case I need something, in case it's hot and I need to be careful picking it up. Somehow I don't seem to have my cloth. What have I done with it? Of course, put it on the back of a chair. Okay, take that off. More wood. Rocket stove. Stove you can't ignore. It demands your attention constantly. Either jamming up, smoking away and needing it to breathe life into it, or burning through the fuel too quickly and needing it to feed it. Feed me, more. I'm the stove you can't ignore. Okay. So, I'm going to give it 10 minutes for that to rest. Hopefully 10 minutes and that should be about ready and boiled, and I'll be able to make some more, a couple of cups of coffee to take to bed. Whoa, sorry about that, just dropped the phone. Plonker. Alright, that's it for now, back shortly. Okay, it looks like we just need to feed the fire one more time. The water's hot, it's on the brink of boiling, but it's not quite there. And I think this was untrusted water, so it does need to boil to be safe. So one final feed of the fire for the evening. And that should take it over the edge. We should be golden then. Right, as long as I don't tip the fucking water away. That would be good, wouldn't it? That would be typical. A couple of these are a bit long. Oh, put some of these shorter ones in. That should be... Oh, I've not got the camera pointing in the right direction. Sorry guys. That should be adequate. Put the mesh back, the rack back. Put the pan back on with its makeshift lid. Get it over the heat. Oops. And make sure the lid is covering. I guess while that's doing that, I can dish up the pasta, can't I? Don't have to keep waiting. I can this little pan, that's my bowl for eating. It's very useful with the handle. Hold it in with my left hand, hold my spoon or my fork with the right, and we're away. So that all looks good. Sometimes I impress myself. Okay folks, I've got no idea what you would call this meal. It's not a bolognese, really. I guess it's a ragu base, except there's no, it's just, what was it, bacon? So let's recap. Bacon, onions, garlic, that white vegetable that I don't know the name of, like the big radish thing, lentils, some wine, tomato frito, fried tomato sauce thing, and pasta. I think that was everything. Salt and pepper. Salt, yes. Pepper, maybe not so much. And I'm just waiting on this water boiling for another round of coffee. So that's that for the night. I don't think you need to see me pour coffee. We're done. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll do the YouTubey thing and say, hey guys, if you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated, if you want to see more from me and keep up to date. Hitting those buttons helps with the YouTube algorithm, lets them know who likes what. And if you want to share it out there on social media and tell other people, that would be appreciated. Please feel free. But for now, that's Delta Mike out. Guys, one final update from me and herself. And a glass of wine. The water on the fire kind of boiled over a little bit, so it's kind of self-regulating. The water turns the flames down till the fire gets back on top and heats it back up again, and it spills over again. So that's just staying on the fire, staying warm for when I've finished, which won't be long now. That was lovely. I'm going to eat another few spoonfuls and then wait for it to cool down and give Madam here a little go at it. And she's sat waiting patiently. She always likes to have a bit of my food, so why not? I don't think there's anything in there that would be too unhealthy for her. I don't think so. So, cheers. And this time, that is it from me and from her. See you in the next one, folks. Bye for now.